This person in Sri Lanka had been forced into a heterosexual lifestyle by his family and community, where he grew up in a society for his entire life. He went along with the norms despite his true sexual orientation, but then he decided that enough was enough and then he could not live a lie any longer. He was also witnessed that the homosexual citizens in his country were bashed in public by fellow citizens and ashamed and humiliated regardless their position in society. Homosexuals are altogether looked down upon as a sickness and sometimes as a result of pagan religions, a bad karma or some god's punishment. Fearing retribution, he did not want to disclose his personal identity on this video recording. However, he felt a profound need to tell his story to the world, hoping that it would help lead to a more rigorous discourse about sexuality and how there is no such thing as normative sex. His belief that talk needs to radically scrutinize the focus given to the heterosexual family life that is propounded by British colonial values, conventional societies, and then so-called development plans of the international community. Under the Sri Lankan Penal Code Section 365 and 365A, homosexual acts are prohibited and violators face a sentence up to 10 years in prison. While few cases have been prosecuted, public shaming and blackmail looms large for Sri Lankan's homosexual community, and this dead letter has become a greater threat in light of pervasive police corruption. Harassment by state authorities and outsiders have heightened to such a sad state that looking for ways to end one's life has become common fate for the homosexual Sri Lankan youth nowadays. Their ordinary encounters with somebody who doesn't fit into the Sri Lankan society's system of so-called affection and closeness. Listen to his side of the story.
I would like to give this, publish this video to the LGBT society, to gay and lesbian people in Sri Lanka, to give them about the public opinion and their attitude towards to give a kind of an expression about towards the LGBT people and the opinion and their attitudes of police and health administration people of Sri Lanka towards LGBT people. There were lots of discrimination was happened to me, so I wanted to share these kind of that things with you. I am lucky enough to live out of the country from Sri Lanka, and now currently I reside in a country which is LGBT community being accepted and reputed by the society. So I'm so happy with that. I got to know that I'm gay from my childhood. Though I didn't know the terms, I felt that I'm attracted towards male, to the same sex people. Because of my the way I behave, the way I talk, the way I play with my other colleagues, people say that I'm feminist and I'm kind of like I have lots of girls as friends, but no boys. So people started humiliating me, and after my scholarship examination, I was in a boys' school, and in that boys' school there were no girls, so I was severely bullied by my friends, male colleagues, and sometimes teachers as well, especially male teachers. In my life, I have came across some highlighted discriminations. One was happening in 2009 in Majestic City. I was with one of my friend which I've got to know from chatting side. We talked and we were behaved as friends inside Majestic City and Bambalapitiya. And after we had our lunch, we went to restroom, and inside restrooms there were no people, so we were close. We were so close together, and he was holding my arm. So the people the security people who came inside the first room have said that we did sex inside that, and we were forcefully taken to the police station, and we said that we didn't do anything. We were close. We were being close, and he just hold my arm. That was the thing that we did. We didn't even kiss. It was kind of like a normal move, but nobody believed us, even in the police station. They didn't believe that. They said that we did something wrong. In that situation, after they caught us inside the toilet, they grabbed us outside the toilet to the corridor, and then people started gathered around us, and then they started blame us. They started beat us as well. So nobody was sympathized us, I think, and we were wounded. My somebody kicked to my thigh, and somebody has beaten to my lips. I think my lip was bleeding, but even after that situation, we were scared to go to the hospital, because then we felt that people would humiliate us in the hospital as well, because in the police station we were severely humiliated, and they even filed a case against us. They humiliated us and let us go. And then in 2015, I was one of my friend. He's gay. He invited me to have a lunch. We went to his apartment, and then we were walking to a restaurant to have a dinner. So then somebody stopped us. By that time, we were holding. He's a very tall guy, and my friend was a tall guy, and his arm was on my shoulder, and that the person who caught us asked our IDs, and then he tried to check our identity, and we didn't like to do that, because he might be a robber, he might be a thug gangster. Why should we give the identity card or anything? So we asked their identity first. So then he was so mad, and then he started yelling us the faggot and idiots, the dogs, stupid dogs, and that kind of with that kind of words. And he showed us his identity. He's from the CID, and he grabbed us into his police vehicle, and he started harassing us, asking so much of questions, but we didn't do anything. The only move was my friend holding me, and his arm was on my shoulder, and we were walking. Then he assumed that we were having kind of sex, or we were going to do something bad. He just assumed, but we didn't do anything that kind of thing. But he said that you guys are gay, and so your behavior is very inappropriate. So then he wanted to continue. He continued asking questions, and we were so fed up, and he slapped us inside the vehicle, because my friend and I was continued asking questions, and we didn't do anything, but we argued that we didn't do anything wrong. But his argument was we were gays, and our move was bad. It was wrong. But luckily, by that time, there was another policeman. By that time, they received a call to change the station. So the tall policeman who was continuously asking questions wanted to bring us there, but the next policeman who was next to him didn't like to bring us to the next station with us. So he let us go. But he blamed us badly, and he wanted to bring us to the police station, but luckily we survived from that thing. And the third thing was happening in Kandy in 2016 January. It was my first date with my friend, and we went to the town, and he came on his vehicle, his mother's vehicle. After all these, we went to Kandy Lake, Tadamalikawa, and to World Spice Food Center to have our lunch, and after that we went to the vehicle. He wanted to drop me to the bus station. And by that time we were talking each other, and we were holding our hands inside the garage, inside the Candy City Center car park. But by that time I felt that a group of people, young people, came and got into the car which was parked left side of my left side, and we didn't care. And after a few minutes we got to know that they were observing all the things from their side, but we didn't even kiss. We were just talking, holding hands, and then they started hooting us, and they threw something. I think they were having something, and they threw it to us. I think kind of a beverage, and we got angry, and we started blaming him after opening the window. And then the people started hooting us, and then they came out of the car, and they started blaming us, and they ashamed us. Then they came out of the car. We started our car, and we wanted to leave out, but it was too late. They hit our car, and something hit to the rear side of the windscreen, and it was cracked. So then we didn't do anything. We left out of the garage and the car park, and we drove to a police station. We drove to police station, and because we wanted to claim the thing from the insurance, because it is not even belong to my friend, but the vehicle is belong to my friend's mother. So then from the police station, the person who was investigating our case called to that car park's security, and then the police station, the police officer ordered the security people to investigate the surveillance camera. And after a few minutes, I think 15 minutes, the security people from the car park called back, and they said that we did something bad inside the car park, but I swear we didn't do anything, even we didn't kiss. Then the police station people started laughing at us, and they were asking that, are you guys gay, and what were you doing, and were you behaved inappropriate inside the car park, and so and so. So then we swear that we didn't do that kind of thing, but they didn't believe that. Finally, instead of doing the investigation, they started they humiliated us. But there were no sign of investigating and continuing the investigation. So what we did was we didn't want to continue arguing and this kind of things inside the police. So because of that, we came out of the police. We didn't want to file a case. What I did was I gave him the money to repair the rear glass, the windscreen, not to claim it from from the insurance, because it's assumed that it seems to be that they didn't want to give us a file a case and give us a proper investigation on that. So that kind of things have happened in Sri Lanka, and even during when I was in my university, during the welcome season, my seniors humiliated us because of my appearance and the way I talk, the way I behave. During the welcome period, I was forced to ask feminist clothes. I didn't like that, but then they wanted to do this kind of nuisance things, so I didn't have any option, because if I don't like to wear these kind of things and go on a catwalk, they force me to glide on the sandy pebble floors. So because of that, I did which I was demanded to. And meantime, during the welcome period, there were kind of a trick that they wanted to identify the gay people, and because they wanted to humiliate and avoid gay people inside the hostels. I don't know why, but the reason. So what they did was they asked to be naked, and somebody was asked to touch our genital penis and this kind of things, and then they check that whether it erects or not. If it does not erect, then it will be a fine, but if it erects, then you will be in a trouble. So but anyway, I'm a gay and it erects me. My penis was erected, so then they started laughing and they started shaming me, telling that you are gay or not. And then but however, I was finally managed to then I said that I wanted to get checked again, to be tested again. So then what I did was I was forcefully keep it without erecting while that person is touching my penis. Even in the health sector also, there were many discriminations towards LGBT people. Usually, as I'm a gay person, once in 3 months' time, I go and do a blood checkup for sexually transmitted diseases. So by that time, there is no question that the lower level health workers, such as attendants and nurses, they disgust us a lot. So even they don't like to touch our hand, they don't even like to touch our files as well. They didn't like us. There were big disgust towards the LGBT people among the lower level health workers. So I complained about that to the upper level as well, but nothing has happened. And among the upper level administration, such as doctors, some are good, some are really good people, they were good people, but some are not. So in my file, sometimes that in the file it was mentioned that I have done sex with 30 people, 30 men, but with 0 women. So then that is a kind of a fun fact to them, a kind of an amusing fact to them. So then they started asking stupid questions. Why don't you like girls? Why don't you like women? And haven't you ever done any sex? And haven't you even tried? You should try, and that kind of things. So there were some doctors asked me that kind of things. So I was so upset and I was so ashamed after I have met that kind of, when I have met that kind of doctors. So sometimes I didn't feel going to get for this medical checkups as well. I have faced many problems in Sri Lanka. I came out as gay, and I'm open to the society that I'm gay. I came to this country and I didn't want to live out of Sri Lanka because I'm uprooting and come and get stable in another country. I came here because I need my freedom and I need my life as a gay person, because in Sri Lanka there are lots of discriminations. I'm targeting from this video all the society, people who are related to LGBT, and as well as straight people, because your response towards LGBT community is very important to make their life happier and to make the society a better society. Because if you humiliate LGBT people in public, if you humiliate them, if you laughed at them, the people who are hidden as gay people or lesbian people or LGBT people, they will not come out. Then what will happen is they start hiding their identity and then they try to have a secret life. So this would lead the society to bring them out and forcefully get them married. They force to marry heterosexual people. So then the LGBT people also would be in a trouble, and as well as the person who are going to marry also would be in a big trouble. So because of that, you think wisely, dear parents and dear society and LGBT people, you should not do that. Make the society a better society. Thank you.
There are many traumatic experiences, and this is just one. As a society, we need to understand that being gay isn't a choice or a decision. Thank you so much.